Hi guys, welcome to the Fighters channel. Fans will never have enough of the victories already won by Tyson Fury. They will always demand, now be that one, and then this one, and so on. This was stated in an interview with BT Sports by the father of the WBC heavyweight champion John Fury. The conversation turned into the potential mega fight of Tyson Fury with Alexander Usyk. John doesn't mind at all, but he says sooner or later it will be necessary to stop. Former WBO World Heavyweight Champion Marco Huck discussed the victory of Alexander Usyk in a duel with Briton Anthony Joshua. Recall that at the end of September, Usyk defeated Joshua by unanimous decision of the judges, becoming the owner of the three major titles in the heavyweight division at once. The rematch of the boxers is scheduled for the spring of 2022. The famous Mexican specialist Eddie Reynoso can become the coach of the former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. This was reported by journalist Michael Benson. Recall that after losing to Usyk on points in September, Joshua went on a tour of the halls of American coaches. In particular, then he was announced in the Reynoso camp, but AJ's promoter Eddie Hearn denied until recently that his ward had visited the USA in order to find a new coach instead of his long-term mentor McCracken. Former heavyweight world champion Enzo Maccarinelli praised the fighting qualities of a British heavyweight Anthony Joshua. In response, one of the subscribers pointed out Anthony Joshua as an example of such a fighter, but Maccarinelli didn't agree with his opinion. The IBF world champion and the first heavyweight Latvian Mairis Bredis spoke about when he would like to have a rematch with WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight champion Ukrainian Alexander Usyk. Recall that Bredis and Usyk fought in the semi-finals of the first season of the WBSS, where Usyk won by a split decision of the judges. Friends, before starting to watch this video, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you really enjoy the content, then please subscribe to my channel and keep watching the videos. If you are subscribed, then you receive notifications about the release of new videos. You do not even have to look for anything personally. I really want to get 10,000 subscribers on my channel. I am trying very hard, absolutely every day, and I need your support. Your likes, comments, reposts to social networks. Thanks to everyone who subscribes to my channel. You are my support. Thank you so much. Fury's father John Fury expressed his opinion on Tyson Fury's next fight with Alexander Usyk. We cannot continue this indefinitely. Tyson beat the most dangerous man on the planet 3 times in a row. What else do you want from him? I'll tell you so, although no one wants to listen to it right now. Everyone says, oh, Usyk will do this, Usyk will do that. Usyk won't do anything. Cruisers don't beat Tyson Fury, except in dreams. No one will beat Tyson. I'm not saying this as his father, but as a boxing fan. According to him, his son will probably box until he is 14 or even longer. He is such a man, they say, he can't do otherwise. People like him are called human pit bulls. He can't live without a fight, John added. Fury's father categorically rejected the idea that Tyson should go up against former world champion Anthony Joshua. He is already beaten. Well, really, let's be honest. Here you watch Fury's fight with Wilder, and do you really think that Joshua has any chance with any of them? I'll tell you so. None of them will fight Wilder. There will be no Usyk. It's too dangerous. Joshua certainly won't. White too, Tyson's father said. Former WBO World Heavyweight Champion Marco Huck discussed the victory of Alexander Usyk in a duel with Briton Anthony Joshua. I said right away that Usyk would beat Joshua, so I am not a bit surprised. Moreover, I advised my friend to bet on Usyk, and he charged 150,000 euros. Count how much he won. Will something change in their rematch? It will definitely be the same. Joshua has fear, despite his size. Yes, you can lose, but you need to go ahead and fight. And here, he is afraid, Huck said. The famous Mexican specialist Eddie Reynoso can become the coach of the former world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua. This was reported by journalist Michael Benson. Canelo Alvarez coach Eddie Reynoso said that he held further talks with Anthony Joshua. And as you hear about AJ's potential preparation for a rematch with Alexander Usyk, Reynoso said, Joshua has a lot of physical qualities and I think he doesn't use them. Michael Benson wrote on his Twitter page. Former world heavyweight champion Enzo Maccarinelli praised the fighting qualities of British heavyweight Anthony Joshua. It's easy to teach a beast to be a fighter, but it's impossible to teach a fighter to be a beast. You either have it in you or you don't. Under pressure in battle, you will be considered a tasty morsel if you don't have this based on you, Maccarinelli wrote on his Twitter page. In response, one of the subscribers pointed out Anthony Joshua as an example of such a fighter, but Maccarinelli didn't agree with his opinion. No, Joshua is a beast inside, and he proved it in a fight with Klitschko. This beast returned after the knockout to carry out an immediate rematch. This beast lost to Usyk, but wants to return immediately, although no one thinks he can do it. This beast, therefore, has the balls for this, the ex-champion said. Recall that in September Joshua lost to Usyk by unanimous decision of the judges, giving the Ukrainian the WBA, WBO and IBF championship titles in heavyweight. The IBF world champion and the first heavyweight Latvian Maris Brady spoke about when he would like to have a rematch with the WBA, WBO and IBF heavyweight champion Alexander Usyk. I would like to have 2 or 3 high-profile fights with famous guys now, and finish career in 40 years with a rematch with Usyk. That would be a great scenario for me. We would finally get the answer to the question, who is stronger, Usyk or me? Then there will be no excuses. Someone had an injury, someone had promoters, and someone didn't have them. Now Usyk and I would have a completely different boxing compared to the first fight. And I don't care what weight I box with him. If he wants to be in the cruiserweight, I will be in the cruiserweight. They will say in the heavyweight, I will be in the heavyweight. I know Usyk well as a fighter. I know how he feels, how he trains, how he prepares for fights. I know him from the inside and I am able to defeat him, Brady said. Recall that Brady and Usyk fought in the semi-finals of the first season of the WBSS, where Usyk won by a split decision of the judges. Former world heavyweight champion Marco Huck shared his forecast for a potential fight in the heavyweight division between Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk. Fury is strong. I don't know how this fight will end, but let's not forget about this fact. Fury has problems in fight with small rivals. It's easier for him to fight with the big ones. And I believe that Usyk can beat him, Huck said. The British ex-heavyweight world champion, 60 years old Frank Bruno, has joined the already numerous rank of those who are ready to help Anthony Joshua prepare for a rematch with Ukrainian Alexander Usyk. This is not the end of Joshua's story, Bruno is sure. Sometimes in life you have to lose to win. I know that better than most. Anthony needs to keep his nose up, work hard and come back. I think he still has an inner fire burning and he wants to prove that people are wrong about him by coming back even stronger. If I can help him in any way, I will be happy to do it. He just needs to call me, Bruno said. Thanks for watching guys, if you like this video please subscribe to my channel.